Hi everyone, it's Sue Plumb here to share another scrapbook process video with you. Today's layout that I am sharing was created using my January 2022 hip kit. Now this kit only arrived to me a couple of weeks ago and I'm only now just getting a chance to get stuck into it. If you've been watching my channel, you would have seen that I did an unboxing video that I shared a little while ago. And yeah, this is my very first layout using this kit. So this kit is full of a Hip Kit Club exclusive collection called Kaleidoscope. And you can see that I have chosen one of the papers from the kit there to work with. So I was challenging myself to actually work with only one sheet of patterned paper from the kit, just one. And I was particularly drawn to this sheet with this sort of geometric, these lines on it. I don't know why, it just drew me in straight away. So the photos I am actually going to be documenting for this layout were some photos of one of my sons with his Minecraft Lego that he had recently gotten and built, and he was super proud of it, and he was loving it because it was a Minecraft pig, and at the moment pink is his favorite color. So I wanted to create a layout for him with lots of pink on it and document his Lego that he loves. So I decided to do a mixed media layout, and I am drawing on a little bit of inspiration from the colors in the photos. He had a blue shirt on in the photos, and I decided to create a painted background. Now, I didn't have a blue that I was necessarily really happy with working with. So what I did was I grabbed a blue that I had in my stash there, and I mixed in a little bit black to make it darker. And then I just used my little Ranger rubber brayer just to apply paint to the background. Now, back to the sheet of pattern paper. What I'm going with here is I wanted to fussy cut some of those coloured lines from the paper and use those as a feature going across my page. I didn't want all the colours though. I just wanted to stick with those pinks and that purple tone that was there and use those as the feature. So the first thing I did after I had fussy cut them is I just wanted to distress the edges of them just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of extra texture. And I was just going to stick it directly over the top of the paint like that. Now, I pre-stuck my photos together. I joined them together in sort of an arrangement that I thought would suit the way this paper pattern ran across the page. So I had one larger photo, which was a 3x4, and then I had two smaller photos as well. So as I said, I joined those all together, and I had already stuck some cardboard on the back of those because I was going to use that to pop them up from the page. So I got my pattern down on the page, and then I wanted to mat the photos. So I had two pieces of paper, or two bits of paper, left from this sheet that I was working with. And I decided to go with that top part that had the light blue on it, just to use that to back the photos with. And I just cut it sort of using my scissors into a rough shape that it would sit in behind these photos. And then I added a bit of distressing behind that as well. So already it was working out quite well, me only working with one sheet of pattern paper here. Like you can see, I've got now my photos. I figured out that pattern paper that's going behind it. Here I'm just having a little looky through the embellishments and showing you some of the embellishments that go with this. I've also got this container here that's got a few extra items that I've pulled out of my stash that I thought I might possibly use on this page. So one of the things that I had actually pulled out is that paint sample card. You can see me tucking into my layers there. Now, I am well known for the fact that every time we go to our local hardware store that I am always drawn to the beautiful display of paint sample cards and all the bright colours, and I usually tend to take a few and put them in my stash when I get home, and I like to pull them out and use them in my layers just for something different. So I had that one there that had 3 different shades of pink on it. I thought that would work really well. I also had a pink paper doily that I had pulled from my stash because, as I said, I was aiming to get lots of pink on this page for my boy who loves pink at the moment. I also had some tags that usually sit out on my desk. I tend to use these tags as templates for tracing around. They're slightly different widths and sizes. And as I said, I just trace around them onto the pattern paper and make my own tags out of them. But as it turns out, one of them was a craft coloured tag, and I thought it would work really well with the faux wood veneer chipboard stickers that you can see just to the right of screen there. I haven't actually started using them yet, but I actually thought that this tag would match quite well with those because it was my intention to use those on the page. So I've got that little craft tag there, and I've also got another tag that I've cut from the patterned paper, but I flipped it over to show the pattern that's on the reverse, which is a geometric style print, and it's got sort of light purple coloured lines on it. So that worked really well. Now I'm tying those tags off with some baker's twine. I love baker's twine and I love the texture it adds to a layout. I've added a little bow to one, but then the other one I've just left the threads hanging loose. I'm going to tuck those two tags in behind where I've got the doily there, just to add a bit of extra texture and a bit of visual interest to the page. You can see underneath my photo, I've also got some frayed gauze there, and everything I've attached to the page so far, I have done using my long-armed stapler. So I pulled out my Helmer 450 glue to attach the photos, but all the papers and everything I had stapled down onto the page at this point. Now I'm having a look at the embellishments that I had pulled out. I was kind of flitting between the ones that came with the kit and also the extras that I'd pulled out and put in the little container that I was working with. I'm having a good look at the die cut ephemera there because, as I said, I haven't done a layout with this kit yet, so I was familiarising myself with everything that was in there. That little arrow that I am sticking on there was from Charms Creations, and it's a little layered handmade embellishment that features sort of denim and felt and tulle, and I had it sitting in my stash and I thought this was a great chance to use it up. Not to mention the fact that I like the idea of the arrow because it helps, just like the lines draw the eye across and down through the page, I thought the arrow was a good way to help draw the eye across as well. Now, usually when I use Charms embellishments, I like to layer them with something else. Initially, I thought I was going to put one of those little chipboard stickers on top of it, but in the end, I wanted to sit that other little arrow with the phrase on it that says, "Go do it." I wanted to sit that independently, and so I ended up sticking a Cocoa Vanilla Studio flare button onto the arrow. Now, I did pull out the little, the fringed trims that come in the kit because I thought I might use those on this page. But in the end, when I held them up to the page and I sort of thought about where I might be able to tuck them, they kind of detracted from that bold pattern that I really wanted to feature. So I ended up leaving them off. Now, for my title, I ended up using the words "so exciting" that both came from the die cut pack there. I popped them up with foam tape just to raise them up towards the viewer's eye and bring them up sort of closer to the level that the photos were sitting at. Now, picking through all of these embellishments, I pulled out a number of heart embellishments. I used the little one with the Geoprint on it near to my photos there. I've put another small one. Both of those have got a silver foiled print on them, which is really nice. As I said, I've put one up the top there, and in the end, I put one down the bottom because I really love working with the rule of threes. I can't help myself. If I've got, two of something on a page, I'm constantly looking at it thinking that it needs a third. Now, for my title here, you can see those small alphas that I'm working with. They're actually from Pink Fresh Studio, and they were something that I had in my stash. And I pulled them out initially because of the blue colour, because I thought the blue might work well with this kit. But as it turns out, it's got that sort of light wood grain sort of coloured look, and they worked really well with the wood grain looking elements that I had on there. So the second part of my title, I was using the Geoprint Puffy alphas that come in the hip kit. They are black and white and they are super fun. I really like them. Even though I usually say I do say that I like a tall, skinny font. And these ones are definitely more wide than tall and skinny. But I really like them. I love the print on them. I love the fact that they're so neutral, so they'll go with anything. And yeah, I do love a mixed font title. So that was the mix of the two alphas was perfect for the title on this page. Now, along the right-hand side of the right photo, I've added the little hearts, die-cut hearts, directly onto the corner. And I've also added that phrase, "You got this," which was on the chipboard sticker sheet that's in the kit. I am finishing off around my title there with another cute little die cut, that little shooting star one that also has the silver foil detail on it. I love all the silver foil detail on these pieces. And then finally the little hip hip hooray die cut phrase that I stuck along the bottom edge of my photo. I love sticking things on my photos. I love it. So I think that was most of the elements on my page. I did pull out some enamel dots that I had in my stash. These were ones that I had used previously and I had some left over on the sheets. I had one sheet there that had lots of pinks and purples, and I thought, why not get some of these on the page? I am making a concerted effort to try and, stash bust some of my supplies this year. So I figure pulling in some extras with my hip kits is a great way to get things used up, and it also gives me the opportunity to add some extra interesting and unique little items to my pages. So I added some handwritten journaling down in the bottom right hand corner there, just telling the story for my son, just for posterity's sake when he looks back on this layout. Well, that's what I'm telling myself. He's going to look back on this layout and read the story. And the last thing I did to finish off this page was I grabbed my Dylusions ink spray, I think it is. I think it's a Dylusions ink spray. Yes, it is. It's a white one. And I just used that to add some splatters over the top of the dark paint, so it just didn't look so flat on the background. And other than that, that was it for this page. I am so happy with how this came together and that I managed my challenge of only using one sheet of paper from the kit. I will be hopefully back with another creation using this kit. Thank you so much for watching. Pop your comments in the comment section below or any questions, and I'll see you next time. Bye.